What is going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about how to keep the Statue Euphoria. If you're unfamiliar with what that really means, you know, anytime you get a new item, whether it's a statue or pretty much anything in life, you get really excited. Like especially statues. I feel like statues are some things you get more excited than almost anything in life. Uh, and especially that day you get it, you open it, you're in such awe. You're just like, holy crap, you've been anticipating this generally for, anywhere from 6 months up to potentially 4 years on some of these things. And so that anticipation builds up when you open it. For me, it's a ritual. When I get a statue, especially when it's like a really good one, like a Grail, like let's say Kratos, for example, or Jin Sakai, or when it's a movie, I open the statue, I get that statue smell, which is crazy how you enjoy a smell of something, but you really do. You enjoy that statue smell, seeing it set up. It meets and exceeds all expectations, because setting expectations really determines if you're going to be happy or disappointed with that piece. But when it meets and exceeds those expectations, you open it up, you have such a happy feeling. You're so happy you got this. And then me, I like to watch a movie from, if it's a movie statue, for example, or sometimes I'll even play the video game it's from. If it's, I haven't played the game in a while, I'll eat my favorite food, which is pizza, sometimes cinnamon rolls, and you're just in such awe. And you have that euphoria where you're just so happy to have this piece. However, as time passes by, that euphoria can, go away. When you look at it every day, some people get sick of things. Like my wife, she can't eat the same food 2 days in a row. She can't. She gets sick of it. And, there's a reason over 50% of marriages end in divorce, because people eventually get sick of each other. And people sell statues because they get sick of them. They may have it. I've seen a guy who got KD Goku versus Janemba, and after a month, he's like, all right, I'm sick of looking at this, and he sold it. That piece is in generally highly praised. So you do have to ask the question, how do you keep that statue euphoria? Flankster, how can you possibly love these DBZ-16 when you've had them for nearly 8 years? And I do still absolutely love these. And I believe it's a similar concept on, how do you keep your marriage alive? You have to think back on why you love that piece originally. What made me fall in love with these 1/6 DBZ? I still remember when I first saw these pieces. I was brand new in statue collecting, literally maybe my first 2 months since I got my first statue. And I was researching online. There was not any big DBZ YouTubers. There was hardly any YouTubers, to be honest, at that time, like maybe two. And they didn't review DBZ statues. But I was researching where to find these because, I wanted more DBZ. What I had, I was not happy with. At least it wasn't sufficient for me at that time. And eventually, I went to some French and Italian forums. I used Google Translate, and eventually I started seeing some of these, and I was in such awe. I was like, holy crap. I saw that Goku versus Vegeta. I saw Trunks, the Vegeta versus Cell, and the Frieza, and how they connected. And I was like, oh my effing gosh, these are such grails. And I had to have them. And after several hours of research, I found out the name of the person who made these was Kenneth Ho, and eventually I found his email address. Once I found it, I contacted him, spent $3,000 that day, and I bought every single VKH statue he had in stock, and pre-ordered every single one he had available. And one by one, I hunted them all down. And to this day, I still absolutely love these statues, even if the detail is, let's say, dated compared to some of the KD, micro detail, texturized, better paint job. I still absolutely love these statues and what they represent for me. Being a smaller scale, I am fine with the detail not having textures. In fact, I actually prefer no textures on my DBZ 1.6 because I feel textures is just a little too much. I think the sculpt and paint jobs are perfectly fine for their size, and I love the concept. So I don't need to upgrade these statues at all. I am very happy with my DBZ 1.6 display. And for me personally, to continue loving these statues, I always think back on why I loved them originally. And in general, I think about that, with my marriage. Why do I love my wife? And I constantly think back on how I fell in love with her. And I think you should do the same with statues. You have to, in essence, kindle the fire, but don't let it go out. Because once it goes out, then you just sell the piece and boom, you don't want it anymore. You don't enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy a piece, then in all honesty, you should get rid of it. So you want to constantly enjoy your statues. If you don't enjoy it, get rid of it. So for me, I do enjoy all my statues in my collection. If I don't enjoy it, I will sell it immediately. But for the most part, for me to not like a piece anymore would really mean I never liked it to begin with, and it was just a little bit of that new statue feeling that got me to kind of want it. Or you kind of force yourself to like a statue because you just spent hundreds to possibly thousands of dollars to buy it, and you don't like the idea that, oh crap, I just got this and I don't even like it. There's nothing worse than spending, let's say, $1,000 on a statue, you get it, and then you don't like it. It's really hard. So you kind of force yourself to like it, but eventually, if you don't like it at the beginning, you're not going to like it later, and you're going to eventually sell it. So it's best to just get rid of it immediately, or try to return it if at all possible. Especially if you order through like Sideshow, just return it. Because I find it very rare that you like a statue, 6 months from now if you didn't like it when you first got it. But if you love it when you first get it, then you can always love it, as long as you rekindle that fire and remember why you bought this in the first place, what joy it brought, bring back those memories. And one thing as well, I like to, on a really like a yearly basis, if I have the time, is rekindle my love with that subject matter, like rewatch Dragon Ball Z. I usually watch DBZ once a year because I freaking love it. And not just DBZ, but I'll rewatch Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, some of the movies. I'll play Mortal Kombat. And video games are, ones I don't play every year, but I'll usually play them every 3 years. Like my favorite ones, like God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn. I do plan to play Ghost of Tsushima soon once I don't have any games to play. So I like to replay the games to rekindle my love for them. Because, and I do want to forget the story of the video game. That way when I replay it, it's not like, it feels kind of like a chore. I want to be like kind of surprised. Like I just watched the Insidious movies, all 5, barely. And I haven't seen them since theater. And I really enjoyed all 5 because, frankly, I didn't remember the story in any of them because it's been so long since I've watched them. So I was able to really enjoy them as if it was my first time again because it's been that long since I've watched them. So I was very surprised, and I freaking loved the movies. They were awesome. So I do believe for movies like that, you don't want to watch them constantly. But for action movies, I feel like you can watch those constantly, because you're watching it more or less for the action, which is almost impossible to memorize an entire action scene. So, but yeah, I do constantly always look at my statues as well. You need to look at your statues every single day. If you don't constantly look at them, or you find a chore to look at them, then maybe you just don't have a true passion for, this hobby. For me personally, I look at my statues all day, every day. I go in each room. I make sure to look at every single statue in my collection. First off, I check for damages and any leaning issues, but I do get to just sit down and just look at each of the statues in my collection and enjoy their art and the joy that it does bring me. So, yeah, I highly recommend every day you look at your statues, you enjoy them, you bring back the memories of why you bought this in the first place, and if you can't even remember the property that much, then rewatch it. Constantly, you know, you have to kindle that fire, take care of it. So, yeah, and if you're getting bored of your display, change it up. You know, you don't necessarily have to buy new statues sometimes. You can just change your display cabinet, change your lighting, change your posters, change the way you know, just rearrange your statues to make it look new. So, you know, there's many ways to, you know, kindle that fire. You know, so just changing your display alone and moving some statues around can really change the way you feel about them. So there's a lot you can really do. But that is just my 2 cents on, you know, how to keep that statue euphoria. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have any suggestions or whatnot on the matter. And I will see you guys tomorrow. So tomorrow, we're getting Bruce Lee life-size bust tracking to show arriving tomorrow. We're getting Chucky silicone. I'm getting 2 like skeleton head resins I bought off Etsy. Gonna go ahead and place on my Terminator base over there. I'm getting some 3D printed items as well. So I got a lot of stuff coming tomorrow, and some people in my Facebook group, Flankster Statue Collectors, had suggested that I do a live video and just unbox it all in front of you guys. So let me know if you guys want to go ahead and do that. Now, I am not a patient man, so I would just go live immediately once they're delivered. So let's say it's delivered at noon Mountain Time tomorrow. That's when I would go live. And I would unbox all the little stuff first and save Bruce Lee for last. And of course, I will do a separate video review for Bruce Lee and Chucky silicone. But more or less, it'd just be a live unboxing of everything I got tomorrow, because I do have a lot coming. Although I do have a massage at my work at noon, actually, so it'd probably be more like 2 o'clock Mountain that I would do the whole live unboxing, you know. So I gotta drive to work, get my professional massage and whatnot. So yeah, let me know if you guys want to do that, or do you prefer I just simply, you know, do an unboxing review of Lee and Chucky separate. But yeah, that is basically it. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.